Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Mankind figure, a part of the Defining Moments line. This is, of course, a WWE Elite style action figure. And it's a figure I've been wanting for ever since it got announced. All of these Defining Moments figures look pretty amazing. I wish we could get these in store, but I think all of them are pretty much all Ringside exclusive. Which on one hand is, whatever, but on the other hand, it's like, I don't like buying things online. But for this Mick Foley Mankind figure here, I really just had to have this figure because I love Mankind, and I needed an updated one ever since the last one I got where you can actually pull out some of his hair chunks. That's, I think that's the only Mick Foley figure I have, really. But I needed an update, and this one is the defining moment, essentially, of Mankind. So this is definitely one of those I really needed to get in my collection as soon as possible. That Cody Rhodes is also a pretty cool figure, but a little less desirable for me personally, just on a collectible level, I guess. But yes, let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with this packaging, the front of the box is beautiful. I love this new style of packaging they have. I've also seen these on the Legends Wave, the new Legends Wave at Target right now, the one with Hulk Hogan and Andre and Jimmy Hart, and who's the last one? Iron Sheik. Pretty good Legends Wave, all things considered. It's just the figures I care about are already gone. I missed out on a lot of the good ones. It's only Jimmy Hart and the Hulk Hogan, which I don't really need another Hulk Hogan, and I don't like the suit style figures, but that's not really. I always go on these stupid tangents. That's not what this is about. I just wanted to mention the packaging is cool, and I've seen it. I don't know why I do that. I love this new style of packaging, this new angular box and the window and everything. I think it looks great. But you have the defining moment. It's kind of like the classic title down here at the bottom. Of course, the title kind of wraps around like so. So you have the wrestlers grappling on either side. You have Mankind right there, angular. Of course, I'm not managing to show it in the correct frame. On the back of the box, you have the match that this figure is based on from the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker. What an iconic photo of these two. I guess I never really noticed, but his face looks so dark and mysterious. You can't really see him or make him out, but it looks pretty cool. I love that picture. A little bit of a bio if you wanted to read that. Of course, I'm not going to, but you can if you want to. And then same thing on this side of the box. It's on this side of the box, and now we're back to the front of the box so we can transition to the figure. Okay, so this is pretty much everything you get. Let's move him back so we can look at all the accessories. You get two sets of hands. You have the open hand, of course. This one right here. The other one is on the figure itself. Pretty basic looking hand. It's nothing to write home about, just your average open style hand. And you have two of these more grabby style hands. Ignore my hand. I spill ink on my fingers, and it's taken a while to leave my fingers, so just that's what that is. But the actual hand itself, if you've bought a WWE Elite, you have that style of hand. That's just what you get with your figures. I would have liked to have seen a fist hand. Of course, I always want to see fist hands with your figures, but then again, like I said, if you collect WWE style elites, you're gonna have some fist hands. I especially would have liked a Mr. Socko or a Mandible Claw hand. I know that doesn't specifically fit this character, this specific match, but still, it's your defining moments. I don't know. It would have been nice to have a few more accessories, like like I said, Mandible Claw or Mr. Socko style hand, or just a chair, like you saw in the image on the back of the box. He was holding a chair. Would have been nice if he came with one from that match, but I digress. You do get an alternate head, and this head does look pretty amazing. It does have the mask, and I kind of spoiled it unfortunately, this would have been better to catch on camera more naturally, but this mask, in fact, you can probably tell because it's not on correctly, this mask just, it comes off, and I think that is so cool. I did not know that about this figure. It looks a little wonky without the mask because the hair is so lifted from the head, but it's still really such a cool detail. I didn't know that was a thing with this figure. So basically, you just kind of wrap it underneath the chin, tuck it back behind the hair as best you can in the spots that it would go, wrap it around the head, and then tuck it under the hair right there. And that is how you put it back on. And very, very easy to do. Of course, you have bits like this that are, because it's so thin and loose, it's harder to actually get it to go where it's supposed to go. And then over here, maybe a little bit more hair on this side just to tuck that in better and hold it better. But still, that's super cool. I assume I could apply this to other wrestlers' heads. I don't think I could actually apply it to this one because the hair is different and wider. But like maybe a Cesaro head or just somebody with less hair, I could easily apply this to their head sculpt and it would look really, really good. But beyond that, the detail, the little silver nodes on the actual mask look great. The hair sculpt, the face sculpt, the beard, everything about this head sculpt looks really, really, really fantastic. I love this this head sculpt just all the way around, mask and everything. It looks super incredible. Of course, I don't know how much of that was in focus. I just looked down at the camera and noticed it wasn't in focus, so hopefully you guys could have seen all that. But like I said, I adore everything. Oh, I just saw that. Look at that. That's a bummer. The paint does not match up with the lines. That's such a huge, major bummer. Look at that. Ooh, I guess that's an easy fix if I have like brown paint over it, then repaint the lines. But oh, I hate that happened. Dang it. But that's the only major defect I see right there, and it's not the worst thing in the world. It's like I said, it's something I can fix personally, but it shouldn't happen on this scale of a product. Just such a huge bummer. But beyond that, I have noticed on this figure there are little just details that you wouldn't notice on any other regular release, so that's super amazing. Starting, of course, with this head sculpt right here, you have the tooth in the nose, the bloody mouth. If you remember from that match, after he falls through the cell, I believe, not when he falls off the cell, but when he falls through the cell, that's when the tooth actually flies up, lands in his nostril, and you have this iconic face that he's making right here with the blood and everything, and you can see the tooth is missing. I love that they made that face as a action figure. It's so cool. It's such an iconic look. Like I mentioned, this arm is just kind of sticking up a little more than I would like, and it's super cool. So details like that. I wish this tie wasn't sculpted on. I wish it was loose and I could move it around, but then again, it would be worse quality if it was like that. I don't know. I think, what would I prefer? I don't know. I think I'd prefer maybe a little soft good tie. I don't know. But you have this tie right here on this nice suit shirt type thing that's all torn up and ripped and shredded across the board. On the back, of course, you have the thumbtacks from when he was chokeslammed onto the thumbtacks, and they look really, really good. Going up to his brown pants that don't really have much detail at all anywhere on the pants, but you do have the boots, which brings me to the other little detail, is the little eyelets on the boots are painted, and that's just not something you would see on an average release, and I appreciate them going the extra mile to paint that detail. I like that. It doesn't add much, but it adds just a little bit, and I love that. So that's what you can expect when you find this figure or buy this figure. You're going to get those little details. They might not always be correct, but they're there, and I appreciate the added effort when it comes to action figures like these. If you can't give us a lot, give us how should I phrase this? If you can't give us a lot in quantity, give us a lot in quality. So I appreciate that. As far as the sculpt, I think we covered everything. You have this sleeve right here that's kind of just wrinkled up and pulled up, and this one that's kind of ripped and shredded. You know, that's standard Mankind Mick Foley type of stuff. So I guess we can go over articulation, which I don't expect to get much in regards to articulation, just because of this body style. Unfortunately, bigger guy body styles are just never the way to go with these action figures. They're always a little disappointing, which is why I'm super excited for the newly announced, newly available for pre-order Mankind that we're getting, the Ultimate Edition Mankind, I guess I should specify, because Ultimate Edition is just it's that extra stuff that kind of hides the faults of these little elite figures. You know, stuff like poor articulation on bigger guys can easily be remedied on Ultimates, because it's just a different style of making action figures. So if you've wanted that definitive Mankind figure and the elites just don't give it to you, the Ultimate might. So I guess we'll see when that comes out. Finally, the pre-orders were available relatively recently. I missed out, but of course I'll manage to get my hands on that Ultimate Edition someday. It's one of those Walmart pre-orders that it's always such a pain to get your hands on one of those. So but yeah, so let's see if the articulation's anything to write home about. Starting with the head, of course. With this style of hair, I don't expect much, because the way it is, it's going to block itself from moving too much. So going back, obviously not too much. Going forward, you probably get just a little bit more, which I like. Wiggles side to side, rotates all the way around like so, and it pops off just like that. Easy enough. Of course, let's see what it looks like with this one on. Interesting that it is two different style of hair, considering these are both from the same match. That one looks just as good on the figure. It looks like it kind of sits a little low compared to this one, but you know, this one I like because it kind of looks like Cactus Jack, to be honest. And we need a we have the Three Faces of Foley figures, so I don't know. Have those released yet? Does anybody know if they're any good? But we have the Cactus Jack with that Three Faces of Foley. But this, if you don't have that, would be a good Cactus Jack head sculpt. So, this review is terrible. The head moves around like I mentioned. The arms come up to about right there. Ooh, what is that? You see that? That's a bummer. What about this arm? No, it's buttery smooth. It's just gross. It just looks like dirt. It doesn't look like a paint defect. It just looks dirty. That sucks. But it does come up to about right there. Rotates all the way around like so. Swivel at the bicep is a little tight. There we go. Just paint tight, not real tight. Double jointed arms comes up to about right there, which is fine, I guess. These arms are a little buff for Mick Foley, I think. Just a little bit. I know the Commissioner Foley also had that problem, among other issues that I didn't realize until I watched the review on him. The paint issues on that figure are immense, and I don't know why that figure was released in the condition it was. Wrist goes in, wrist goes out, wrist goes all the way around like so. Let's see, I kind of lost, there we go. Ab articulation, that's going to be the interesting factor here. How does he ab articulate? I don't think he does, just period. Going back, you know what? Going back maybe a little. Of course, you have this little shirt thing that's a little thick, and unfortunately, it's a little too thick. I wish you wouldn't I mean, you could fake the details like this on a soft goods, but I don't know if you could really pull off this on a soft goods. Maybe, I don't know, we have that Seth Rollins Ultimate Edition that has little sparkly bits that we could probably do something like that with. But I don't know. I think I would have preferred if this was a soft goods, like the Ultimate Edition will be. I know it's an elite, and obviously it's going to be elite style, whatever's. But on this defining moment, just for the added articulation, I don't know. It would have been nice, but would it add much? I don't know. It's one of those things with elite big men like KO and Mick Foley and Mankind. They're just tough. They're tough figures just in general. This mask is kind of poking out a little bit. There we go. Going back, not much. Going forward, again, not much. If I add the legs into it, push those legs down. They are kind of blocked by the shirt. It's fine. It's not great. Honestly, it's kind of bad. Yeah, I don't like that. It doesn't really bend much. Unfortunate. Rotation at the waist. Rotates all the way around. A little too loose. That could be an issue if, like, a kid's playing with it and, I don't know, you lift up the leg and it just turns like that. I've had issues like that when I was younger and I had a figure that was too loose. I go to lift up the leg and it just turns on you. It's just not fun to play with at that point. Double jointed knees, not pinless, but they are double jointed. Comes up to about right there. That's actually pretty decent. Swivel at the thigh, rotates all the way around. He does do the splits. Comes up to about right there. That's actually pretty decent for a big guy. Comes up pretty high. So far, minus the joints that were tight because of the paint, so far everything is buttery smooth. Everything moves very, very nice. I love the feel of this figure. It's just very, very smooth so far. Rotation at the boot, rotates all the way around like so. Ankle goes down, ankle goes up. That is a very, very smooth figure all across the board. The ankles, everything. Slight swivel at the boot, of course. And that is the defining moments Mankind. It is an elite, obviously, so I have to judge it as an elite. And I think I'm happy. I think I am. Obviously, my expectations were set. Being a Mankind figure, these guys are just not going to articulate well. It's buttery smooth across the board with the joints, so I'm very happy there. This is super annoying. Of course, that is a huge issue for me. An easy issue to fix, but still should not happen. The sculpt looks amazing. The little details like the painted eyelets, the mask, everything like that, the tooth, the thumbtacks, all of that stuff. I think there are details like, I'm trying to make sure he doesn't have it. The scars on his arms, he does have scars, correct? On the Mankind I own, if I could find it, I would show you, but I a lot of my WWE action figures are in storage, so I'm not going to go hunt those down just to show you. But I believe, if I remember correctly, he has scarring on his arms, and that's a detail that's potentially missing, or maybe it's just not time accurate. Maybe it's just the scars came after this match. I don't think so, because I think specifically that scar happened in a death match in Japan, if I remember correctly, with Mankind. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I'm not like a aficionado on Mankind matches, but you know, stuff like that. But the articulation being what it is, I'm trying to think. You have to buy it off ringside, so inherently it's going to be, you know, you pay for shipping, your taxes. It's going to be a little bit more than retail, because retail you would just pay $24.99 plus like $3 tax, so $28 for an elite. This guy closer to 30 to 32-ish. But when you buy on Ringside, you get free shipping on anything over 60 as long as you use the code. I got myself Mankind, Seth Rollins, and a little table just to get it over that $60 hump. So I got it for around retail. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with this figure. I think it's great. I think it's a good looking figure. It feels good. The joints are really what I'm very happy about. It just moves the way you would want it to move. It just, no hindrance at all. No standard like WWE Elite ankle just doesn't move. It's rock solid ankles. Everything is just how you would want it to be. Little defects like that, big defects like that, but everything else, ab crunch not being what you would want, but being what you would expect. Yeah, great figure. I think it's worth it. I'm trying to argue with myself over this. So let me know what you guys think. Let's just have them over here playing an arcade game. Why not? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do, just do it for me as well. And I will be back with another video, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.